Hello everyone, my name is Aditya Patenge. I'm a CA finalist. In my previous video about advanced accounts, I told you guys to focus more on accounting standards. Then I got a lot of comments saying, can you please make a video about how to prepare, most importantly, how to present your answers in the accounting standards. Because your accounting standards will come for around 60 marks in the new syllabus. And if you're able to score 45 or even 50 in your out of 60 marks in your accounting standards, an exemption is for sure in the paper. When I say 45 to 50 out of 60 marks, people will say, hey Aditya, how is that possible? I'll show you my answer sheet where I got 4.5 marks out of 5 marks. I'll tell you why I lost that zero point 0.5 marks also. So when I say that target, it is very achievable because in accounting standards, it's either a 6 or you get out. If you present the answers properly, you are sure to get out of 4 marks, or if you don't write it properly, you will be awarded 0 marks. As you know, how you write an answer in law, first you write the provisions of the case, then you take up the question, you solve it, then you come to the conclusion. The same way is to be followed for accounting standards as well. Let's take an example. Say AS2, inventories, valuation of inventories. You get a question saying like, at what cost do you measure the inventory? You know the provision. The provision is inventory is measured on the basis of cost or NRV, whichever is lower. So this is the first provision. And then you come to the analysis of the case. You add what and all comes under the cost and you calculate the NRV. So whichever is lower. So the final conclusion will be, okay, since cost is lower over here, in say example, cost is lower over here, the inventory will be valued at cost. Now I'll show you my answer sheet itself of group 2 of my advanced accounts, and I'll tell you I got 4.5 out of 5 in this answer. I'll show you how I presented in this as well. This was one of the question in my attempt where I got 4.5 out of 5 marks. So the question related to AS9, which was for revenue recognition. So as I told, like present your answers in 3 ways. First is the provision, analysis of the case, conclusion. So I wrote, always mention the AS number and the AS name as per AS9 revenue recognition. This is how you should start your answer, whatever it is. If it's PP as per AS10 property planted equipment, whatever the provision, start your answers like that. So this is the provision of the case, and this is the analysis. That means the case study, whatever you solve, and this is the conclusion. And the same, we had three sub questions in the question. So that is how I divide the first part. And again in the second part, see again, this is the provision, like when you should be recognized with the goods. So these are the 3 criterias on which revenue is recognized. So I wrote the criterias, and this is the conclusion. Since all conditions are satisfied, then we will record it. And again, you come over here, you notice the same thing. This is the provisions. Since the buyer is approved, this is the analysis of the case, and this is the record entire 3,50,000 as sales for the year ended. So this is the conclusion. So I got 4.5. I think I didn't get 0.5 because I didn't write the analysis of the case in part B. I wrote analysis of the case in all the parts, but in B I wrote since all the conditions satisfied revenue. I could have put it in a better manner. This is where I think I lost marks. So I'm telling you, right, 5 on 5 in accounting standards is very doable. Try to attempt the accounting standards in the very beginning because it is such a part of the paper where you can get more marks in less number of time. So in the first 1.5 hours, if you're done with all the 60 marks you've covered, the confidence for the rest 1.5 hours is huge. So I would recommend you to do your accounting standards, and if all the MCQs are accounting standards, go with your MCQs, and then come to the big chapters, amalgamation, consolidation, which are like 15-20 marks. Answer those questions in the end. First, accounting standards are to be given preference in the exam as well. That's it for this video, guys. All the best. Jai Anjaneya.